This is the most famous rivalry in the natural world. One animal possesses a neurotoxin capable of killing 20 humans. The other is a small, furry mammal looking for insects. They are locked in a genetic arms race spanning millions of years. We usually assume the massive venomous reptile has the absolute advantage. But in this street fight, the snake is desperately defending itself. How does a mongoose consistently defeat the king of venom? The secret is not just raw speed or aggression. It is a combination of advanced biological armor and exhaustion tactics. The confrontation begins abruptly in the dry Indian brush. An Indian Gray Mongoose accidentally disturbs a resting spectacled cobra. The snake instantly raises its upper body and flares its hood. It emits a loud, terrifying hiss to warn the mammal away. But the mongoose does not retreat from the lethal warning. Instead, its entire body undergoes a sudden physical transformation. Every single hair stands perfectly straight on end. The mammal suddenly appears twice its actual physical size. This is not just an intimidation display. It is a highly effective optical illusion designed to deceive. The snake strikes forward with blinding speed toward the body. But its fangs close only on thick, stiff fur. The actual flesh is several centimeters deeper inside the coat. The cobra wastes a precious dose of venom on empty hair. The mongoose easily jumps backward to avoid the next strike. Their eyes are specially adapted to process rapid horizontal movement. They can track the lightning-fast trajectory of a striking snake. But dodging fangs is only the first part of the strategy. To win this fight, the mongoose must break the snake physically. A cobra cannot sustain high-energy strikes forever. The real weapon here is forced cardiovascular exhaustion. The mongoose begins to run in rapid circles around the cobra. It constantly feints attacks from multiple different angles simultaneously. The heavy snake is forced to continuously track the moving blur. It strikes again and again, hitting nothing but air and fur. The reptile's muscles begin to fill with lactic acid. Its strikes become noticeably slower and less precise. The mongoose is patiently waiting for the perfect moment of fatigue. But what happens if the snake actually lands a solid bite? For almost any other small mammal, the fight would end immediately. The neurotoxin would quickly shut down the respiratory muscles. The mongoose, however, carries a hidden evolutionary defense mechanism. It possesses a tiny genetic mutation in its nervous system receptors. The snake's venom molecules physically cannot bind to the cellular targets. The potent neurotoxin simply bounces off the nerve pathways harmlessly. This microscopic alteration effectively neutralizes the cobra's primary weapon. But this does not make the mongoose completely invincible. They are not immune to the hemotoxins of vipers. A bite from the wrong species of snake is still fatal. Therefore, they must treat every single strike with absolute caution. There is no room for arrogance in the wild. The cobra is now visibly exhausted and trying to lower itself. It attempts to slide away and escape into the thick underbrush. The mongoose instantly closes the distance and seizes the opportunity. It bites down hard directly on the back of the snake's neck. The jaws easily crush the fragile vertebrae just behind the skull. The long, exhausting confrontation is finally over. The mongoose begins to consume its hard-earned venomous prize. You might assume these animals spend their entire lives hunting snakes. Legends often portray them as dedicated serpentine assassins. Ancient Indian folklore claimed they ate magical herbs to cure poison. The truth is far less mythical and much more practical. Snakes are actually a very small part of their regular diet. They prefer to eat insects, crabs, worms, and small rodents. Fights like this usually occur over territory or threatened offspring. Risking death for a meal is rarely a smart evolutionary strategy. They fight the king of snakes only when absolutely necessary. But human misunderstanding of this relationship led to a massive ecological disaster. We thought we could use their aggressive reputation to our advantage. We brought them to new islands to solve our own problems. It was one of the worst biological decisions ever made. In the 19th century, sugar plantations in Hawaii were overrun by rats. Desperate farmers imported mongooses, expecting them to eradicate the rodents. They assumed the fearless snake killers would easily destroy the rat population. But they fundamentally misunderstood basic animal behavior. Mongooses hunt strictly during the bright daylight hours. Rats are almost entirely active under the cover of darkness. The two species rarely even encountered each other. The newly introduced predators needed an alternative source of food. They found it in the defenseless eggs of native ground-nesting birds. These birds had evolved without any natural mammalian predators. The mongoose became a highly destructive force in a fragile ecosystem. The supposed saviors pushed several unique bird species toward total extinction. You cannot simply drop an apex survivor into a new world. Evolution is a complex web of highly specific relationships. The mongoose's abilities were perfectly balanced for the harsh Indian plains. There, its fast reflexes are checked by equally dangerous adversaries. Out of context, a biological marvel becomes a severe ecological problem. We tried to weaponize a natural predator for our own convenience. But nature does not take orders from human agriculture. A mongoose will always hunt on its own terms.